Hello, High Representative Jorge Libareiro with Euronews. I need to ask you, of course, about the letter that the Belgian Prime Minister has sent to the European Commission. We all read it. It has many concerns, many reservations about the reparations loan. But at the very end, the Prime Minister says, hastily moving forward on the proposed reparations loan scheme would have as a collateral damage that we as European Union are effectively preventing reaching an eventual peace deal to end the war in Ukraine. Do you agree with this assessment? Do you think the reparations loan is an obstacle in the negotiations, or do you think it would strengthen the European leverage vis-à-vis Moscow? Thank you.
It will definitely strengthen European position vis-à-vis Moscow. That's very clear. We need to move on with this. This is clear that Russia owes reparations for the damages that they have caused to Ukraine, and the reparations loan based on the frozen assets of frozen sovereign assets of Russia is actually the right basis for it. I don't in any way diminish the risks or the worries that Belgian government has. When we had the discussions in the European Council, I mean, everybody was saying that we are ready to shoulder the risks and the burden. So therefore, we need to work on this, on the legislative proposal to address all the risks or mitigate all the risks and to shoulder the burden in regarding those risks. But we definitely need to move on because, you know, if I would be Russia, I would also try to outlast us to see whether we get the funding for Ukrainian defense or not. If not in the short term, then I would come to the negotiation table and ask even more. I think, again, let's come back to the first point, which is that Ukraine hasn't attacked anybody. It's Russia that has attacked, and we need to make sure that this stops and it doesn't happen again. Thank you.
Thank you. David, first row.
Thank you, David Carretta, Radio Radicale Italian Radio. Two questions, if I may. The first one on your ammunition initiative. What is the state of play, and are you satisfied with the answer? We are at the end of the year, so basically of answer of member states. The second question is what is your message to the member states that are lagging behind in terms of military or financial aid for military support to Ukraine? Some member states are taking much of the burden, others are not participating, for example, in Pearl initiative or in other initiatives. So what's your message to those member states? Thank you.
Thank you. On the ammunition initiative, I regret to say that we are not there yet, although today one member state told me that in the coming weeks they will have another decision that will also contribute to the ammunition initiative. Today we were also listening to the Defense Minister Shmihal regarding the needs that they have and also his call for member states to do more. Of course, they also need drones and other capabilities, but they still need ammunition. So the work is still ongoing in this regard. When it comes to the overall support to Ukraine, then, of course, like you rightly say, the burden is not equally shared. So those member states who are doing more, we're also calling on those member states who are not doing that much. Helping Ukraine now is much cheaper than this war will continue. So if we all make a collective effort to help Ukraine, to pressure Russia, the sooner this war will end and sooner the costs will stop as well. Thank you.
Stefan.
Yes, Stefan is at Europe Table on the reparations loan again. I mean, after reading the letter of Prime Minister Bartolo, one could come to the conclusion that this option is actually quite dead, or the chances are slim, at least, to have an agreement on this this year. So, basically he's coming up with new arguments why he's against it, and he didn't wait for the legal text that, as I understand, are ready. So he could have waited for this and then written his letter, but he didn't do it. He sent a letter before. It looks like he wants to kill, actually, this option, I would say, but maybe you have another view on this. But wouldn't it be time to discuss other options, to be prepared? I mean, we know that Ukraine needs financement in next spring, so would it be time to discuss like this idea of a bridge loan, for example? Thank you.
Thank you. We must understand that, of course, Belgium is under a lot of pressure. So this is very clear. There has been options paper provided, but if you look at those options, then the reparations loan is the most viable option because, you know, bilateral contributions are not covering this. Like in the previous question, it was also seen that not all member states are carrying the burden. Eurobonds or raising capital together is also out of a question for some member states to do it all together. And the reparations that Russia owes to Ukraine, actually, it's really the Ukrainian money. If you think about the damages that Russia has caused, this is the best solution. Again, I want to stress that I don't in any way diminish the worries that Belgium has, but we can address those, we can shoulder those risks together, and we need to work on a viable solution to go on with the reparations loan. It sends a three-way message, a very strong message to Ukraine that we are there to help them to defend themselves. Second message to Moscow that they can't outlast us. And third message also to Washington that we are taking very strong and very credible steps. Thank you.
Mattia, yeah.
Hi, Rep. Mattia Bagnoli, ANSA, the National Italian News Agency. I want to ask you a broader question, because I think that we can all agree that last week was extraordinary. And if what we read is correct, and the Americans are indeed negotiating with Russia for access to their market, to the Russian market, to the exclusion of Europe, we would be facing the sum of all fear in a way, because a bad deal, possibly a bad deal on one side, and something very worrying on the other. So wouldn't be at this point perhaps useful to open direct negotiation with Moscow and send there a kind of a European Witkoff? Thank you.
Well, everybody has been very clear, especially the Russians, that they have no interest in peace right now. So again, I mean, we need to put them in the position where they need to negotiate. Right now, they are not in that position because they think that they can outlast us, and they also hope that there's a very good offer made because they see that there's a lot of pressure to put on the victim, but none really sacrifices asked from them. At least we don't know that any of the sacrifices have been asked for them. So clearly, I mean, they want to negotiate with those who are just offering them something on top of what they already have. This is clearly their interest, but it shouldn't be ours.
The mic just over there. Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roland Papid, Nipseva. I have a question regarding SAFE. So some countries, Mr. Kubilius said that 15 countries wants to have some programs with Ukraine, others are without. Are there some kind of priorities for those who are doing their projects with Ukraine? That's my first question. And second one goes to specifically Hungary, which probably is one of the 4 countries, I assume, which is not doing anything with Ukraine. For Hungary, the pre-allocated funds of 16 billion is a huge amount. And while the European Commission in other cases froze EU funds around 18 billion for Hungary because of the rule of law and other concerns, this time there's so much money going there with kind of no strings attached. So do you see some kind of concerns maybe that Hungary, if Hungary gets this money or a part of this money, of this allocation, it's going to be maybe going to the wrong hands and wrong pockets? And how do you want to avoid this? Thank you.
Thank you. Right now, 19 countries have applied for the safe loans. What happens now is that Commission will evaluate all the plans and then Council adopts the financing plan. So basically, it is the same way like it was with the Next Generation EU. So in the Next Generation EU, you needed to show, the reforms, the things that you do, so that you get also the funding. And that's why the plans are there, and the funding goes for the defense plans. And that is also the answer that there are safeguards for guarding that this money goes for defense plans and defense plans only. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go on the other side for the mic. Yes, the gentleman over here, and then we'll go back to the front.
Thank you very much. Alex Kaja for TVP World. I'd like to ask about hybrid attacks. We heard the chair of NATO's military committee saying that they're considering being more aggressive, more proactive in response to Russian hybrid attacks. I just spoke to the Polish minister who was here today. You won't be surprised to hear very supportive of a more aggressive, more proactive approach from European powers when it comes to hybrid attacks. Would you support a more aggressive European Union approach to these attacks, not just reactive, but perhaps a preemptive strike, as it was described? Thank you.
Thank you. So today also the Lithuanian minister raised this issue when it comes to the Belarus hybrid attacks and the meteor balloons that come from Belarus side. So we are having discussions right now. What more can we do in this regard? Because it is true that they are getting more aggressive in different parts, and we have the hybrid sanctions toolbox for Russia, but we haven't had it for Belarus, for example. But all these actions, what the member states take, we need to coordinate. But of course, it's up to the member states then to really use those tools in order to counter those hybrid attacks. But it's clearly becoming a bigger and bigger problem, that's for sure.
Julia on the front.
Thanks, Julia Serevan, Journal TV, Republic of Moldova. Discussions about the peace plan are ongoing, but the question is whether the issue of Russian troops on Transnistrian territory is being considered and whether this is a threat to Ukraine or not. Is this the right moment maybe to solve this problem? And the second question on SAFE, if if Moldovan authorities apply to be part of this program, because before the European Union and our authorities said that Moldova can be a part of SAFE as well. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes, this is one of the examples of the 19 countries that Russia has attacked previously, or which is somehow still Russian troops present. This is a very, very good question. If the negotiators want that the war will stop and not continue in any other territories, so how can we make sure that Russia will never invade again and withdraws its troops from different parts of Europe where they still are? Then that would be one point to negotiate. Again, a very point putting the point on Russia. What are they conceding? What they are contributing to have long-lasting peace, not only in Ukraine but also in other countries. So this could be part of it. When it comes to SAFE, then We have an agreement with Moldova regarding security and defense partnership. So we are trying to also have Moldova part where they can take part. But the deadline for SAFE was the end of November, and today we are 1st of December. I am not aware of, no.
We will take the last two questions on the right. Yes, the lady next to you, indeed.
Thank you. Milda Velikanskita from Lithuania National Broadcaster. Madam Kallas, Europe, we know that Europe wants to be in a good relationship with the United States and wants to be respected by the United States and also wants to help Ukraine. So, in your opinion, how will Europe look to the United States and to Ukraine if after months of talks about reparation loan, about using frozen Russian assets, we will have no solution, or that solution will be that Europe is afraid to use these assets? Thank you.
Well, Russia will definitely look at it, they don't want this reparations loan to happen. So our response should do exactly the opposite, because this is something that we need to move on with, and to send a strong signal to Moscow that they can't outlast us and Ukraine can defend itself. Thank you.
We'll go on the right. Max from AFP had his hands raised for a while. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, HRBP. Max Delaney from AFP. Just coming back to the negotiations that are going on between the US, Russia and Ukraine. When the first peace plan came out, Europe scrambled and managed to somehow get back involved in the negotiation process, but now it seems that Europe is once again being excluded, and being purposefully excluded by the US. So do you get the sense that the US is cutting out Europe from this latest round of negotiations? Do you have any idea what Mr. Witkoff is going to negotiate with Putin in Moscow, and are you fearful that he will once again try to force Ukraine to make more concessions?
Thank you. I'm afraid that all the pressure will be put on the victim, which is that Ukraine has to make concessions and obligations. Whereas, in order to have peace, we shouldn't lose focus that it's actually Russia who has started this war. And Russia that is continuing this war, and Russia that is really targeting civilian infrastructure every single day to cause as much damage as possible. So yes, I'm afraid that all the pressure will be put on the weaker side, because that is the easier way to stop this war when Ukraine surrenders. But this is not in anybody's interest, not in the interest of Ukraine, not in the interest of European Union, also not in the interest of the global overall security, because it's the United Nations charter that says that you can't change borders by force. If this pays off, we will see this elsewhere, all around the world. Then we see that whoever has the power gets to take what they want, which is not good for the majority of the countries in the world.
I still see some interest. We'll take the question over there. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela Mauro, HuffPost. High Representative, you're saying, I'm afraid the pressure will be put on the victims regarding the week of talks in Moscow. Just a quick question. Do you trust the US in this negotiation? Thanks.
It's not a question of trust. It's a question of, again, if we want a long-term peace, then we need to understand the starting point of this war. And the starting point of this war is that Russia just decided to start a full-scale war and aggression on its neighboring country. If we want this war to stop so that it doesn't continue in a few years, if we want this war not to expand, then we should put all the pressure on the one who is doing the aggression, which is Russia. Thank you.
Thank you very much.